This is the Voiceover Gurus podcast, real talk about the voiceover industry with your hosts, Linda Bruno and JJ Wilson.
So the next time I go to do my demo, 150.
There you go. That's the way to be
so
organized.
nice being organized.
So nice. Congratulations on the organization.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome back to the Voiceover Gurus podcast. Hi, JJ.
Hi, Linda. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. This is number what, like 900?
I think it's 85. We took a little bit of time off because we got busy. You know?
It's been a little busy. No,
Yes.
knock on wood.
Tons of
The
auditions.
dogs don't bark. Oh God, there's somebody at the door. Oh no! Bark, 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 bark.
January has turned out to be quite a busy month for a lot of people. And
Yes.
it's always nice, start the year off. So unfortunately for us, the podcast kind of has to take a backseat.
Yes.
But we certainly want to do the podcast because we have a lot of fun sharing all the information and stuff. And we have a cool thing to talk about real quick. Couple things, actually. First and foremost, they apparently 1,600 voice talent were surveyed. And they named the voiceover gurus in the top 10 of the most trusted coaches.
How about that? And they actually chose Linda, which I just think is so cool. And she's cool because she's right. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
But we are in the top 10.
I know. Number 6.
Number 6. I mean, hey,
Top 6.
That's fine with me.
Well, let me tell you, it came as a complete shock because none of us knew that the survey was even happening, which is also nice.
I wonder why they just surveying us, because I would have voted for you.
Yeah, well, I guess we're not. I don't know. But here's the scary part. There are 674 coaches that were listed.
674?
That's a lot of coaches out there.
Wow.
This coaching industry has just exploded.
And you know what? 640 of them have no experience whatsoever.
Well, I'm excited because the fact is that we base everything we do on being as real as possible with you and complete honesty, knowing that you can trust us. So the fact that it's a list of the most trustworthy, oh man, that's what it's about. That's
it's funny because I've been talking a lot lately with students about the fact, and that's the feedback that I've been getting from them as well, is that your workouts are cool, your classes are cool, because I know you're not making anything up. You're there to help me, and you tell the truth, and you don't overcharge ridiculous amounts of money for things. And if I send you an email or something about a question I have, you always get back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we go the extra mile. That's all, because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's nothing greater than having one of your students start with you 8 months ago, who was already working in the business but then going to the point where he gave up $120,000 a year job to go full-time voiceovers.
Yeah.
That's how well one of our students is doing.
That's impressive.
I'm very proud, and it makes me very happy. I know that may be silly, and they're your competitors. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They beat me fine.
Right.
That there's enough work for everybody.
There definitely is if you're willing to look
I walk
for
around
it.
like a proud father. It's great. It's like, that's my boy. Oh, wait, you're older than me. Wait.
We were talking about another student because you just completed a demo for this person about how fantastic, she is. Yeah. And, it's really like, beaming in pride because she's really worked hard at it. And she's very, very good. She's become,
she had the radio thing happening. She was in radio and still is, but very much radio voice. And boy, somehow just one day we got rid of that. And she is the most millennial sounding. She just picks up every nuance of everything now.
It's fantastic.
And her demos are outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
That's the best part of this, is that the reason we don't do the quick fix thing, and we talk about this, that we don't go that route. And because the reason is, when you go organically and you do it this way, it's that the reward is so great for you and for us.
Yeah.
Because it was genuine hard work, genuine persistence. And then it's like, it just makes it that much sweeter when you're booking jobs, because of where you started. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought it was an amazing, shocking honor, but I shouldn't be shocked because we are very trustworthy and honest. But 674 coaches. I mean, I think that was pretty cool.
That's Linda Bruno, number 6. I'm number 672.
Stop.
No,
You're probably number 11.
Maybe.
We don't know.
My favorite number is 1,000,006. So,
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
So another quick piece of business. You made me cough.
Sorry.
Contagious.
Wait, I'm going to yawn.
I was working with a student. She had vocal tightness, and I'm like, let's yawn. So that was it. We were yawning for like 10 minutes.
Oh, dear. Good night.
Sorry, everybody. We're going to redo a little bit of our website to try to really, it needs to be redone. But do you think about the website's been up and running for like 4 or 5 years now, surprisingly enough. And so I'm excited about that. I know. God. Crazy, right?
That's nuts.
I know.
That's nuts. Yeah, I'm redoing mine as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And you've taught me all about the players, and now I can teach other people about the players, and there's a voice exam and stuff like that. It's really cool. And it's really, we were working with a WordPress, and my wife is a computer freak. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's really good, but WordPress is so far behind, and they've designed it now where you have to have somebody who does nothing but that.
Oh, God.
So pick one of the ones that you can do yourself. It's drag and drop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that difficult. It is very time consuming, though.
Right.
It's taken us, it took me 4 weeks to do all my demos and chop them up all into pieces and everything I wanted to do. But I would say in the next week, mine will be done. And it's simple and to the point. And so, I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
With the gurus, though, we don't have demos up there. We don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But I do need someone to do it for me because it's a lot of design elements are going to be changed, which I'm excited about because
I didn't know elephants design. That's amazing, Linda.
I want to make it as straightforward as possible so everybody understands how they can work with us and make it easy.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, we have to. I agree with that because some people say, well, I tried to, and then I didn't.
How do I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's all going to be fixed in the next month.
Yeah.
But good stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff.
What's going on with you? You wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, I want to talk about something kind of serious, which I don't do normally, but I think I've had a life change, and I realized something about this business that even after as long as I've been in it, for 30 years, I lived and eat and breathed voiceovers. I was always on call. I never missed a session in 30 years, not one for any reason. And then I got sick. I had the heart attack. And that messed me up physically because I had to have the open heart and I had a lot of recovery and mostly it attacked my brain. You kind of give up for a while after that on life itself because you think that, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Is it going to happen again this minute or next minute? And you're dealing with all sorts of emotions. But I dove into the woodworking, and that seemed to keep my mind busy. And I was not able to give the horrible thoughts enough time to scare me.
Yeah.
But while I was doing that, I was still doing my work, but that's all I was doing. If a session came in, I'd come in, do it, and go back out there.
Gotcha.
And then, 3 or 4 months back, I had to have a little something else done. And I feel great. I'm in good health. My heart's in great shape. But I was not allowed to do woodworking anymore because I'm on a blood thinner. And what that did for me when I said, well, I can't do that anymore. And I have some other hobbies, but I just started to come back in here and I realized that I had stepped away too long.
Oh, interesting.
Just for 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
And I stepped away and wasn't trying. I wasn't marketing. I wasn't caring. Pardon me. I was just doing my work. But now that I'm back into this, I said, well, I've got several years left of this. And I realized at that moment that, God, times have changed. My demos don't suit the way it even changed the way I teach. I'm teaching more now to today's reads
Mhm.
and the very basic technical stuff that I like to cover
Right.
that I learned before all of this. And I think the combination of those two things is really great, but you really do have to live it.
Yeah.
And for the last couple of months, I'm in here. And
Yeah.
I don't go out to lunch much anymore. You know, I sometimes you can take a lunch. It's no big deal. You know, you can get something done. Like if it's a quiet day like yesterday, I got a few things done around the house. But I'm
Yeah.
right here. If something comes in, I can do it. But I realized that you really have to eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff and stay that on top of it to compete.
Yeah. To
You
stay
know, with the
competitive. Yep.
voices.com things, you know, if I'm at lunch and one comes over, by the time I get home, it's booked.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's booked. You got to be sitting here. And when that thing comes in, I immediately click on it, do the audition. I have everything pre-written. Bing, 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 sent. And I'm number 9.
That's great.
I don't know how people do it so quickly, but that's how quickly it moves. So what I'm trying to say, and we have one student who is, she's very, very good. And is just, she's young and doesn't exactly know which direction she wants, but she knows that she's good at this and
She
was
sounds like
kind of,
how I was when I was like 23.
yeah, just on the fence. You don't know what to do.
I knew I was good at it. I
Yeah.
knew it was something that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the motivation at that time
Yes.
to do it and really go for it. And
Yep.
and I didn't understand it, you know.
Yes.
So
It's
I
all a
went
mindset.
and got in radio instead, just so I go, okay, microphone, let me try to learn.
Right.
But at that age, you know, I knew, okay, you've got some basic talent, but now what? And at the time, I didn't have any guidance. I didn't want to be bothering Connie every 5 minutes.
Right.
You
And that's
know,
exactly what she said to me today. Well,
really.
I don't want to bother you. And I said, you've invested all this time and money, and now, you know, you've taken a couple of months off. And I'm worried that we're going to lose what we had when we got
Gotcha.
that demo done.
Yeah.
So I said, you know, if she said, well, I am starting to audition on one of the pay to plays.
Mhm.
But she said, I don't send them in because I don't like them.
Oh, no.
And I said, well, first of all, we got to build up your confidence about that. So
She's got to get back to
being
workouts.
part of, you know,
Mhm.
being the trusted people that we are, I said to her, I said, next time you audition, send it to me real quick. I'll give it a quick listen. And I said, if you're still as good as you were, you know, when we did your demo,
Right.
I probably have just a couple of quick notes, and you do it again and send it in.
Mhm.
And that'll also allow me to check the sound of your room, make sure your
Mhm.
editing is fine.
But you're
and
doing a
stuff
big
like that.
favor.
I am, but that's the way I am.
That's a big
The
favor.
way I am. I know.
I don't mind people reaching out, and you know, because I have students reach out. I love when you email me, because then it gives me time to get back to you when I can. But
Right.
just so
Exactly. Don't
everyone
expect it right off the bat, because
yeah, just so everybody understands
it's
that it
been
might
nuts.
sometimes it takes me like 2 days, and then I get to your email, and then because I want to focus on it. I don't want to just write some BS back to you.
Right. Loved it, babe.
Yeah, fantastic. Keep going.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't need to do that.
Do it. But
That's an interesting, yeah, because that I can totally relate. That's how I was too.
yeah.
But I know for me lately, the last maybe 2 months, it's almost like a burnout. I've felt a bit of a burnout.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't have the same motivate. I mean, I'm busy, which thank God it is. And like same thing. I'm doing the jobs. I do the auditions, but I'm not trying to grow my voiceover business right now.
Right.
Because I've hit a burnout point.
Right.
And so.
And they go away. You get through them.
Yeah, I'm hoping that my trip to Jamaica is going to be my kickstart to come back in and,
Gotcha.
just to get away. And
are you going to get your hair braided?
No, you sound like you're Swedish again.
Do.
You got to do the Jamaican accent, right? Everything going to be Irie. That's it.
That's it, man. Would you like to go to the garden?
The garden. You sound like you're Swedish.
I haven't done accents in a while. But anyway, my whole point of this is that it's really, it's showbiz, and it's different than other jobs. You've got to just dive in. And I know that when you walk up to that line and you've studied and you've worked hard and you've gone to school and gotten a degree and all that stuff, and now it's time to make a decision.
Yeah.
And you look at all this, because the people who haven't done all that have no clue
Right.
what is really involved in doing voiceovers. I love it when people say, oh my God, you sit home and read all day. And I'm going,
Yeah.
no, that's not what it's about.
I have students that come
At
in
all.
here to start, they do the starter pack, but they're here on Long Island. And after the first lesson, they go, my God, I didn't realize it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
I didn't
And that's
realize there was
just
so much
that part of it.
involved.
That's
Yeah.
just that part of it.
Right.
You've got to learn an entire computer editing system.
Yeah. Well, that's why we
so
did the
many things to
introductory
do.
thing, because
Yeah.
this way you're not making a big commitment and you can figure it out. But like you're saying, being an actor, being a voice actor, you're all in. You have to be all in.
Absolutely.
You have to live, breathe, live your life like that. When you are not behind a microphone, you need to be listening. You need to be listening to commercials. You need to be practicing voices. It's a never ending process. It's not like you just shut the, okay, now I'm just going to go back to my old life. It like absorbs you.
Yes. As a matter of fact, my wife slapped me at 3:30 in the morning because I woke up and I decided to do my New York pervert. I said, hi there, honey. You want to wake up for a minute? She goes, smack. And then she went on snoring. So she said, don't practice that now, dear. And I went, yes, dear. Okay, that's fine. But it really is. And I understand the people who are standing there. I understand it. We've all had to make the jump from having a job to not having a job.
Yeah, the scary one.
And it's huge, especially when you're young.
Mm-hmm. So, I had to get fired from the part-time job to be full-time VO.
Yeah, my boss asked me to leave. He said, I love your work, but you're never here anymore. You're doing voiceovers. He said, go do that. I went, you think? And he goes, you're making lots of money. And I said, yeah. But he said, I need somebody who's going to be here during the day. Please go.
Yeah.
And he and I are still friends today.
But for me to have that continual, I knew I was going to have a paycheck. I knew that I had health benefits because it was union.
Oh, yeah, so that's fun.
I was like,
no health benefits. Yeah.
Right. I was like, okay, so I'm working 7 days a week. That's fine, because I have my little safety net. But it took literally the radio station flipping formats and them firing 46 of us to be like, I guess it's time, You've been making money doing voiceover. Now it's time to have that extra confidence in yourself and say, let me just go for it.
And it puts one hell of a lot of pressure on you.
Oh, yeah.
And that can actually hurt you in your audition process.
Yep.
Because when I was doing a lot of voiceovers in Florida, I would go for on-camera things. And I didn't care if I was hoping I'd get the on-camera thing, but I was making a fortune.
You were very.
And that's why I booked things, because I walked in and I was comfortable and not worried about it. There was no pressure.
I'm convinced that the job that I auditioned for before I was about to quit the business, I was so frustrated. This was way back when I had gone on 6 months of auditions. These are physical auditions at casting directors in the city. And I got to the 6-month mark and I'm like, I'm not booking anything. I must completely stink, because no one's giving me any feedback. All I'm hearing is thanks for coming in, but I know I'm not booking the job. So it got to a point where I said to my ex, I was like, I think I'm going to quit. But I went in for this audition. I've probably told this before. And at this point, I was so down on the whole process. And I was like, I'm not booking any jobs. Nobody's giving me feedback. And then they were like, okay, you got to come in for this audition. And I walk in and they said, oh, you're number 50. So you're our last one. And I literally inside said, I don't give a shit.
That's the attitude you have to have.
Yep.
Same thing as not needing the money.
Yep. For me, it was like,
just forget about it. And
like, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. This is obviously not for me.
Didn't you? You booked it,
year and a half campaign for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then you were right back. It's amazing how
to freaking out.
You can be at hours from giving up this career totally to in an hour going, wow,
I know.
I love this job.
It was so crazy. The agent called
the next day. It's very hard on the brain, this job.
He's like, guess who booked it? And I'm like, really? You kidding me? What? Okay.
Number 50.
Number 50. Yeah. And because my attitude was I could care less at that point, but it's hard to get to that attitude.
It is.
And it's hard to not, how can you not care? It's just so hard.
Well, there are days where you just have to go.
But then deep down, it's, what do they say? You have to hit rock bottom before, something great happens. Yeah. But deep down, you may be like, oh, I don't care about this. But deep down, you still care.
Yes, of course.
So how do you get rid of that?
You don't.
You don't.
Let's move on to another topic because it doesn't go away. It just
I don't
doesn't.
know. Maybe it's just taking on a different mindset.
Yeah.
A mindset that says, I'm all right if I don't book this.
Yes.
There's going to be
If you
another
can
one.
care just a little bit less, they won't see the desperate and urgency in you.
Yeah. People
And
can
they'll go,
smell
this
it.
guy probably doesn't have exactly.
Mhm.
Great way to put it. They can smell it when you just are, oh my God, I've got to book this job.
Smell desperation.
Yes.
It's
Don't
like
let them
dating.
smell it.
You don't want to be that person that's like so in need of a date. People
Yeah.
want to date the person that's like, I don't care if you come around.
Hi, how you doing? Good.
Yeah. Exactly. It makes you more desirable.
Yes. Yes. Very good point. Very good point. But that's what I wanted to bring up. I am back in full swing. I'm working away and I'm very happy again.
Oh, good.
It's changed my whole mental attitude about the business. And I got to tell you that the teaching, I think, is what saved me.
Wow.
Because I started, we teach constantly. We're doing demos. We're
Yep.
teaching classes. We're teaching individual students and we're saying things. And then I'm working on an audition for myself. And I go, now, why didn't you do that the way you told the guy to do it last night?
Oh, interesting.
Then I go back and I do it again. And it's just, I learned from it. And the joy that I get from the people who are successful makes me, well, I still love it. I really, really do.
Yeah.
I hope I could do it till I lost a job to a 94-year-old man the other day.
Remember you telling that story. I know. Yeah. The coaching for us, as we talk about, is fantastic and keeps me motivated as well to stay in this business.
It really does. It really does.
Because
you gotta keep working hard so that you can teach these people.
Right.
You don't want them to get ahead of you, because then I'll throw you out of the damn class.
We've done that to 2 students. You're out. Don't come back.
You're out. That's it. You're too good. Leave. Oh, you booked that job, did you? I auditioned for that too. You son of a...
But to keep that motivation going long term, just don't beat yourself up if you're having trouble with it, because it's very hard to sustain that level of energy of go, 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 go. Everybody has different motivators for why they're doing what they're doing. Is it to prove a point? Did someone tell you couldn't do this, and so you're going to prove them wrong? Is it something that you've had a dream your whole life to do this, and people have doubted you and said, are you kidding me? At the age of 50, you're now going to do this? Then if whatever your motivation is, you have to literally write it down, put it up on the wall, something, because there are going to be days when you're like, I did not feel like doing this. Yeah. Really? I'm going to do another audition. I got to reach out to another client. Yeah. It's like you have to keep that reminder in there. And I think for me, I'm going to get married. I have my support system. Before, I didn't have a support system. Yeah. And when I was making the most money I was on my own.
Yeah.
And it was out of necessity that I got up every day and said, I am going to make money. And I went after it. Yep. But now I have help. And so I think that's also, factoring into it too, because I'm like, okay, I can do 5 auditions as opposed to the 20 I would have done.
Right.
So you have to find the source. What's your source? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to become a voice actor? And then
sorry.
And your source is what's going to drive you and going to sustain you for a long-term career. But it may change.
Linda. It's the money. I'm sorry. Where was I the other night? I was sitting at a restaurant with some friends, and I don't know, one of them was saying, they just gave me a raise. I'm making $22 an hour now.
Oh.
And I'm going, wow. I made 2 weeks of your work today.
Yeah.
And I had a 3-hour lunch and I took a crap.
Yeah. So, I know. But you have to factor in all the hours of the training, of the looking for clients, of the relationship management.
Exactly right.
Exactly
right. And the worrying.
Sandy's out right now because she broke her foot. And she's she's stuck in Florida. And so billing today for us is the 28th. Billing is next, Monday? And I'm thinking, crap, I got to do all this billing next Monday. So
I do all my own.
Right. So who's going to be auditioning that, it's me back to what they call it, the single arm paper hanger, So, but all those hours, which might seem like, wow, I just made $300 for 6 minutes of work. The fact is, it's all those hours that you put in.
That's right. There's one day where you can spend all of it billing people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's
Or working on your studio, or removing a sound, or practicing a new read, or getting coaching.
Or somebody said your microphone sounds funny, and you're at Sam Ash picking out 14 different mics.
That takes time, and it takes time out of your schedule. So
even though their speakers were broken.
But I guess a good wrap up for this would be to say you really need to figure out what is your true motivation. And the motivation is going to change over time as you evolve your career, as you live your life.
The other thing I wanted to bring up was with the different pay-to-plays, and if you have a couple of agents, sometimes it just switches. You start booking things on Voices, and you don't get anything from the agents. And then it switches for a while.
Yeah.
And I've booked 3 with agents in the last 2 weeks, but I've done 44 auditions on Voices.
How's it going anyway?
I got favorited 12 times.
Very nice.
I have not booked one.
Okay.
And then I call Troy up and say, how you doing? He says, I can't talk now. I'm doing a thing for Voices. And I'm going, oh, so it's weird, but it changes. It goes back and forth. Depends on what the job is. And you just got to keep going.
That's why you have a lot of irons in the fire.
Yes,
so to speak.
The more irons you have, the more chance you have of getting burned in the fire. Well,
that's great. We are heading into February, and we do have 3 workouts in February, even though I'm going to Jamaica, man. Okay, so make sure you sign up for one, and probably in March we'll do a mock audition night.
That's make believe, isn't it?
Fun, yeah. And we're mulling around, and I actually think we're going to do it because I'm starting to get excited about us doing a daytime class, and it's going to be about copy comprehension, and it's going to be a live class with JJ and I for 2 hours. And you're going to work with scripts with us in relation to breaking them down. And we're going to go over it all together. So that's a class that I want to put together. And it's going to be during the day. So we're going to explore that option because I just think that would be really fun.
That is the thing I find that people really need to learn. They don't see the tie-ins and the referring back. It can even go the second word of the spot and the last word of the spot.
Yep.
And I say, they mentioned that up there. Second word of the spot, and the last word of the spot is the same word. So you got to somehow refer to it.
That's because in the workouts we like kind of graze over it because we're really trying to coach you on your read.
Right.
But to really understand it and what's happening is very time consuming and something that we need to talk about.
Yep.
We need to go through it.
I was thinking the other day that it would be fun to actually print it out and kind of make the piece of copy a map. Where are you going? What are you doing when you get to this part? And then you just keep
don't give away the trick.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, these are all things we're going to do. These are things we're going to do in our class that we will announce next month.
No, nobody's coming because they already know what I'm going to do.
Right, exactly. They've already learned everything. Thank you, JJ.
I lied.
Well, thanks for joining us. You have any questions or comments, info@voiceover.guru. We also appreciate any reviews you guys leave. My mom is on. She goes, you don't have that many reviews. And she's like, I'm going to review your podcast. I go, Mom, make sure it doesn't say Linda's mom.
I used to have that on my resume. JJ is a phenomenal actor and very tall. And my God, he's good. Jody Wilson.
Right.
Wait a minute, Mom. You can't do that. No. Is that really how your mom talks? Because if so, I really want to meet her.
But she's like so proud, and I'm like, Ma, you can't you gotta get a different ID, because it can't be. Linda's mom thinks she's great, but we do love the reviews. Good reviews, by the way,
and questions. We love to answer your questions on the podcast. It's a great way to spend the time. And just closing with, this ain't easy. It's just not as easy as everybody thinks.
If I wanted to pay the royalties, I would have the song "No, it ain't easy." Isn't that from the Beatles? From the little one, the drummer, Ringo Starr.
Ringo.
Is that his song? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. But
everybody, it ain't easy. But that's okay. That's why you listen to podcasts. That's why you get all this information. So that way
Neither is becoming a brain surgeon, but I chose this.
Right.
So there are a lot more people alive today because I chose voiceovers.
I love that. I love that.
So do they.
Everybody have a great rest of your day.
Hey,
and
that's
please
the
join us
wrong
again
end.
soon.
Doctor. Oh, sorry.
Thank you for listening to the Voiceover Gurus podcast.
Thank you. Are they watching too?
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Voiceover Gurus podcast. Real talk about the voiceover industry. Learn more about us and get coaching at voiceover.guru.